Hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to Hello Sisters TV. My name is Raquel Appiah.
My name's Sade Oluwaleimu.
Yay! Finally, we're here together. You will be seeing more videos coming from the both of us this year. And today's video is about how to be a successful single. And I would have no one other than Sade, my girl, my sis, my bestie, to have this conversation with, because I definitely feel that she is a true example of a successful single. She makes it look good, you know, not to say that, you know, her journey's been perfect or, you know, there's been no challenges. But what I love about Sade is all the things that she's overcome to become, you know, the woman that she is today, the single woman that she is today, bossing it, killing it, looking good with it, you know, and not settling. So today's topic will just be, you know, picking more at your story. The questions, I should say, will be just picking more at your story to hopefully encourage those out there in the same position as you, which is not a position in the first place, it just is what it is, single, to just really embrace this season of their life, to enjoy it, to maximize it. It's a season full of so much purpose, you know, and we hate this kind of narrative of single being a season of being incomplete, or a season of delay, or waiting. And all the negative connotations around it. Every season is a blessing and holds something for you. You know, something that takes you closer to your purpose and takes you closer to being with God and just living out, you know, the best life that God has for you. And so, you know, Sade really depicts all of that. So we are just going to get straight into it. You ready, girl?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Tell us about, wait. For those who do not know, Sade and I have been best friends, sisters.
Like 7-8 years old.
Yeah, so we tight. So expect, I just wanted to give some context, give some background. So, you know, just expect that realness, that authenticity, and yeah, just having fun with it. Okay, cool. Tell us about your journey in relationships. Like, give us a brief overview of what your relationship journey has looked like.
Okay, so for me, when we were in school, I was very shy of guys in the first place. So I didn't engage with men like that. The only young men that I was familiar with was my cousins, my big cousins, because I'm the only girl in a lineup of like 10 male cousins, first cousins.
In your family?
In my family. And then, so I was very shy. I didn't speak to guys. I didn't converse with them. If they're in the room, I didn't speak much. Just because I was shy and I didn't know how to conduct myself.
That was all through secondary school.
Yeah, all through secondary school. And then I was always rolling with the polar opposite of myself. So she would have all the conversation. I'd just be looking at her like, wow, she's so brave. And by 19, I got into my first serious relationship.
At university?
At uni, in my first degree. And I met this guy that was the love of my life, and it was so deep. It was so deep, and
as it always feels.
I know, it just feels so deep, but like even now, it was a deep relationship for 19.
It was very deep, actually.
So that was my first serious relationship.
And that's good. That was really good.
Yeah.
Considering, like, when we compare, you know,
what others were
doing and what age, you know, we started the game, you know. I mean, it wasn't a game for you, but it was real for me, but, you know, it was really good. Sade was known as the goody two shoes.
Yeah, it was.
Very prim and proper, and
I was. You know. So I enjoyed that relationship. We went through a horrible breakup.
So when you just dropped that, I enjoyed the relationship, went for a horrible breakup.
It's true, that was the reality, isn't it? It was a lovely relationship, but the breakup was horrible. And then stayed single. I think shortly after that, Raquel and I decided to give our life to Christ. So we embarked on our journey of salvation, which helped to keep us grounded. Still ended up in 2 other relationships after that which were not the will of God, but at the time I thought they were. And yeah, that's been me. I'm 32 this year. So we're talking about what, 12-13 year journey. I've been in three, well, I'd say 2 of those relationships were serious. One of them was just a joke thing.
Yeah.
But that's
which one are you calling the joke thing though? Which one?
The one in between.
Okay, cool.
Isn't
it?
it?
Yeah.
The others were relatively serious.
Yeah,
the one in the middle.
We genuinely thought the 2 you're talking about would turn into marriage.
Marriage, exactly.
Like marriage was on the cards.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
And so, and in between that, I haven't dated. I haven't been seeing people, speaking to people. When I'm single and focused on myself.
Yeah, she's not like me, who, if I was single, would be just playing the field, like living my best life. That's why God secured me down real tight, real quick, because I genuinely enjoy the singlehood game. Like, I love getting to know people. I love going on dates, you know, keeping people on their toes. I like options. You know, it's fun. So yeah, I've always been like, I never got to experience the Tinder generation, you know, because when Tinder came out, I was already locked down. So oh my God, I'm so bad. I make marriage sound like a bloody burden.
No, it's fun.
Like, lockdown, but like, no, because I said lockdown, like, because I was already married to my amazing husband. But yeah, so I always wonder, like, what is it like? So I'm always like, I want to live vicariously, like, through Sade.
And
like,
I'm not living.
Sade, give me some stories. Tell me what's going on Tinder. Like, swipe left, swipe right, like I hear them saying.
Yeah.
She's never, ever, ever been interested in that.
No, I'm not. I just feel like it's a waste of, for me personally, because I don't thrive on that whole dating and then locking it off or dating multiple people at the same time. It doesn't give me any joy. For me, it's a waste of time, because I'd rather, if I think that this thing is going to be serious, then I'll invest my time. If not, I'd rather not. Yeah, for me, it's a distraction.
I think for you,
for me,
I think
that's
your
just my situation.
Her situation is very unique, because she does have a clear idea from God about what her husband looks like, and that sounds crazy putting it out there on the internet. And you know, time will only tell when we can expound on that even more. But I do understand that there is a place for people to meet people online, and meet people they may not necessarily have the opportunity to in real life. So we're not that we want to discredit online dating and apps.
Absolutely. Date, go out, go to social events, meet people. Absolutely. Just for me, it doesn't work well.
It just doesn't work.
That's all.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to clear that up. Not that, you know.
Yeah, we're against.
Okay, so sis, you have been in 2 major relationships, and you do you practice celibacy? Talk to the people.
Yes, I do.
Tell us.
I wasn't celibate in my first relationship.
Okay.
After that relationship, when we gave our life to God, then I decided to be celibate.
Okay.
Still had another slip up after that.
Yeah.
In a relationship.
Yeah.
And then got really serious on this thing. So as it stands, I think I've been celibate 9 years this year. 9 years. By God's grace alone. And it hasn't been easy.
9 years celibacy.
Yeah.
So that last relationship you were in, give us the timings.
Oh, we met in 2019, broke up in 2020.
Okay. So literally a year.
Yeah, under a year.
Under a year ago. No, but in 2022.
Oh, I thought you meant the length of the relationship. The length of the relationship was under a year, and then
Are you telling me it's been 2 years?
Yeah, it's been 2 years already.
Since the breakup?
Yeah. It's because it was in the middle of COVID, so like it's we've lost a year and all.
Literally. Yeah. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you were celibate in that throughout that entire relationship. Yeah. Well done.
Well done, God.
Thank you, God, for grace.
You.
Because he's a good looking guy.
Very good looking.
Or he was. Anyway, let's move on. So what is the benefit of celibacy? Why am I celibate? Yeah, why are you celibate?
I don't know. Sex is good, man. You understand? Let me start there, because when you tell people you're celibate, they start having all these ideas like, oh, she must not enjoy sex, she must not know what it really is. No, I know what it really is prematurely, but I do know sex is good.
Yeah.
So why have I decided to be celibate?
Yeah.
Because I felt like every time I slept with somebody, a piece of my soul was going missing. Whew! It's true. And then you end up having to break all of these spiritual ties. That's all time consuming. We've got other things to focus on. And to be honest, just like food, we've learned through fasting.
Yeah.
That's a good example. We fast a lot.
Yeah.
For spiritual growth, right? And the whole concept is to deny the flesh so that the spirit can increase. It's the same thing with celibacy. When you deny the flesh this sexual desire, you thrive in other areas, because it's consuming. Just like when you're fasting, and we don't have to think, well, for you it's different because you have a family. For me, if I'm fasting, I don't have to go in the kitchen. I don't think about what I'm having for lunch, dinner, and for breakfast. Do you understand? All of that time is then filled with other productive activities, like we were talking about the importance of Bible study this morning. That's such a good point you make. I never looked at celibacy in that light, because you find sportsmen, they don't have sex because it takes so much energy. Boxers in particular, they, and I know a lot of successful people who are celibate because they're concentrating the energy, the transfer, they've removed all of that rubbish and they're putting it into killing it. That's it. Into purpose. That's it. And they just fly. There's so much blessing in celibacy. Yes. Right? Yes. Go ahead. It's a massive, for me, it's a massive statement to God to say that I love you so much. I'm going to love you and follow your commandments and have faith in you and do things your way and deny myself of this because I love you. Like, it's just a massive, I feel like it just takes your faith to another level. It takes your relationship with God to another level, because it's such a massive sacrifice. Because you could be out here in these streets and people don't understand why God is blessing you the way that he's blessing you and that you've just arrived, but you're putting the work in behind the scenes. Exactly. And I feel like you're not, like you said, it's not messy. There's a lot of mess. When you're moving one sexual partner to another, you don't feel right. For me, I don't feel right. It clogs up the relationship with God. Like, how does God get to you? Because you're just entangled in all the spiritual implications of tying yourself to all these people who carry their own issues and problems and then project their own insecurities, traumas, and mess ups onto you. And curses, the amount of things that go on behind the scenes, people are struggling with things that weren't even meant for them. Exactly, because you've gone to spiritually attach yourself to someone's weakness else. Has now become your weakness. When you had your own set of problems, as it is. You didn't struggle with anger, now you're struggling with anger. You didn't struggle with gossip, now you're struggling with gossip. You didn't struggle with a certain insecurity, now you're struggling. Why? Because you've gone to, what did Jada say? Entangle yourself. That's a true entanglement, boy. And the worst thing, aside from characteristics, which are which are deadly as well and horrific and coming out of, is not easy, but it's when now it's even hindering your purpose, like slowing you down. Like, there's certain things you like delay, like stuff like that, like the familial patterns that follow that person and slow down the progress of that family you've just gone into. I don't even know how to articulate it. But it's just, there's a lot to be said for engaging in these relationships that are not meant for you. And we like to say it's just sex, but it's not. That's the reality. God knew why he said it. Exactly. When he said it. Like, I remember when we first came into it, we didn't really get it. Like, but we knew we had to do it, but we didn't understand. We didn't really get it. And like, the more that life
progressed and moved on, the more we realize that, like, sometimes just listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it doesn't need to make sense.
It doesn't need to make sense. Walk by faith and not by sight.
Do you understand?
Do you know when it really became apparent to me that celibacy, and I'm sure you have astounding revelation as it is now, but when you get into marriage and you realize there are just certain challenges you and your husband will not encounter because you maintained celibacy in your, and the way that God honors it as well. It's so empowering, just to encourage those that are listening who are interested in embarking on that journey. It's difficult. Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. But it is worth it. But tell me, how does celibacy play out in a relationship? What does that look like?
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. No, to be honest with you, if you're gonna really be on this thing, you need a man who is gonna come alongside you, as with everything.
Yeah, that agrees with the vision.
Yes, that agrees with celibacy and understands the importance. It makes it easier. The last relationship I was in, he said he understood why. But when it came down to it, okay, when man starts breaking a month in, do you understand? Man didn't understand.
Putting it on.
Putting it on you. You don't need that. If you're with a man who understands the vision, he's not even going to straddle the fence. He's not going to mess about. Do you understand? He knows why you and I can't sleep in the same bed. He knows why coming over at a certain time is not appropriate. But if you have a man who doesn't understand the vision, he's going to test the boundaries. And we don't need testing boundaries. I don't need to be tempted. It's not necessary. Yes, I have been
celibacy doesn't mean
I'm not an expert now. Do you understand?
You can never be an expert. Ever.
I'm not an expert, so I've been celibate, so now I don't have feelings. Body not be firewood.
Yeah.
You have feelings. Don't mess around. Don't play with them. Flee temptation.
Flee temptation.
So I'd say you need somebody to come alongside you, and if you don't have that, you end up in a mess. So I mean, and when you're out of a relationship, what does celibacy look like? I mean, sometimes it's very difficult. Remember, there was like a few years ago, I called Raquel and I was like, I just need a hug. I need a hug. And I really like arms. I like big arms.
She likes the arms. Gang.
So when I called Raquel, she understood because she knows me. And she's like, sis, it's not worth it. And I was like...
She wanted to make a call, you know. That's where she was. She wanted to make a call for a hug. You went, isn't it?
Yeah, I did. I made my call. I got my hug. Was it worth it? No, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it.
It better just have been that.
It was. But it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't. And there are slip-ups. Yeah. There are slip-ups. Thank God you haven't gone the entire way. Yeah. You're not perfect. And we want to show you that the journey won't look perfect. But God is so amazing in what he takes. You know, it says a faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. In our little faith, in us desiring God and seeking God and living the way he wants us to live, he multiplies it and does and makes beauty out of it and lets his glory be seen. He knows our heart. He knows our heart, and he imputes his righteousness onto us. It's not by works. You know, he makes us righteous in that he sees the best in us. You know, and so we shouldn't be judging each other. No. You know, we just have to start and try, and God will do the rest. He will give you the grace. He will give you the strength. It's not by power nor by might, but his spirit. And in our weakness, that's when his strength is made evident. Strong. Just to encourage those out there listening. But what I want to understand is, how did celibacy help you in your relationship, in your last relationship? How was the fact that you were celibate, how did it help? I think
it allows you to have 20/20 vision. Like, when you're not clouded by
the D.
Especially if the D game is strong, or you know it will be strong.
Hey!
You understand? Like,
wow.
it's dangerous. It's a dangerous territory. It's like a minefield, mate. I think that it allowed me to hear from God clearly, because you know what your flesh feels. Obviously, earlier in the video we've said that on paper it all looked good, right?
Yeah.
So then the next thing you start doing as a young Christian woman is praying that, Lord, is it your will or is it not?
Yeah.
Now, this is where I've left space for God, because had we been having sex,
Yeah.
the type of download and revelation I was getting about him, I was dreaming about things that he hadn't even told me yet.
Yeah. It was very deep.
You understand?
I've not seen some of the things that played out in this relationship.
Yeah.
When I tell you, live for God, you know.
Live for God.
Live for God. Seek ye first the kingdom of his righteousness. Seek ye first the
Stay
kingdom of God and his
tuned for
righteousness,
part
everything else
2.
will be added. Because the way God